What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Lee, and my man, Meta Watt. Welcome to Cowboys OT Story Talk,
What's going on, everybody, man? I'm here. Second straight week, man. Told my guy, Coach, make a brilliant effort, to be on these shows, man. We both Cowboys fans. And I know Coach can handle it alone, but, you might need some company sometimes, man, What's going on, Dale? How you doing, Dale? What's going on in the building? Who that?
You're right, Dale. Such a great intro, brother. You did your thing on that as always.
What's going on, Jake? How you doing tonight? Yes,
Jiggity, Jake.
Session. Because our team played last night, so we don't got to deal with the frantic Sunday. That is the NFL. And we will see y'all in 10 days. But we're going to chat some Cowboys talk, because that's what we do out here. And enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe. STWF-TV, man. All platforms. Blazing hot.
Let me see. We got, I know we do our normal routine, but let me ask you before we get started. What was your level of panic before the game?
My level of panic was 10. And it was the reason because everybody before the game kept asking me. And I'm sitting here like the way we played these last two games and the Giants, the way they were somehow coming into the game, I felt some panic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we playing in a road game. We're going to New York. Everybody knows, especially my man William. Shout out to William. Me in the crib chilling. A divisional game speaks volumes. And shout out to the Cowboys for coming in that game last night. Rugged game, was able to pull it out.
I was like you. I was a little worried going into that game. I'm like, I was of the mindset if we lose this game, we might be starting. It's probably gonna end up being a season with us having like a top 7 draft pick. Mm-hmm. That's how Desmond was lit. I'm like, we haven't really even gotten to the meat of our schedule yet.
Yeah, that's the key, man. The meat of the schedule. It's gonna get pretty interesting, and we'll speak on that as well. But yes, in this situation, you kind of had to get that win. Giants went out there, played a game that they could have won. At the same time, this W need to be on our side for the record stands. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, the teams with the best records make the playoffs. So we got to get as much W's as we have L's. And one more W. We're even now. Whatever comes after that, we'll see.
We shall see. So we got, let me see. The top 5 players. Who were your top 5 players last night?
Top 5 players last night. I'm probably gonna throw 2 off the head, but 3 that I did see. First off, for what it was, threw an early pick, Dak. I liked the way the game played for him. After the pick, he didn't let it throw him down. We just talked about coming into the game. This is a divisional game. A game like that where you throw a pick to start the game, that can just throw you over to a panic of 20. But he relaxed. Wasn't a game where he was throwing deep balls and such, but he was accurate. You know what I'm saying? He didn't miss too many passes after that pick. I like the way he went about it. It may not have been cute, sexy by any means, but when you're trying to get a W, you just grind and you grind. And, hey, the short game was working in this game. You stay with it. You could have homered because of the Giants. Homered, but you didn't. You keep your composure. A guy that we've been waiting for. Second round pick out of Michigan, Maxie Smith. They spoke about all the high level players last night according to the grade, the PFF grade. Maxie had the best efficient game out of everybody. Neighbors, you've seen his stats last night. Dude had over 100 yards. This dude was at an 88.4, and it was just the impact he had in my eyes. Just being all around the field. Doesn't speak right when you look at how many tackles and stuff he had. But we just look at his presence on the field during the game, the run defense particularly, which we were struggling in the last 2 weeks. We was able to dumb it down to a max, and He was part of that. And overshown, man. Overshown, balling still being active. Shout out to the young man. Even, with injuries to Lawrence and Parsons, he's still able to, play his game. He's going to be a guy that we really look forward to in the next few weeks, depending how long both of these guys are going to be out. Eric Kendricks, the OG, 13 tackles. Love it. Love it. Love it. You know what I'm saying? And one more. One more. I wanted to draw a tie-in between CD and then Rico. CD, no arguing this week. Cool. Rico, because you lose confidence, you know what I'm saying, going there, and then Zeke's in there, and you in the background, like maybe Dalvin Cook gets an appearance this season, but that used him early, you know what I'm saying, gain some confidence in him. And there's some people that say Zeke's the best back on the team, but yeah, he's the best back on the team. But fresh legs, young legs in this league. We know how the running back position go in this league, and you got to give this man a chance. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point, he's either going to get signed for money to you guys, or you're going to get rid of him. You have
Right.
So I like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give the cake to CD and Rico.
All right, fair enough. So my top 5 for this week is I got to go with my boy Overshown as my number 1. It was he just flashed. When he's on the field, he flashes. There's no missed tackles. He plays with a lot of energy. And I like, even though he had that, I think it was week 2, but he didn't get much run. I think he had a great week 1. Weeks 3 and 4, he's got more playing time. So I don't know what was behind him not having much PT, but he did his thing last night. I think he ended up with 8 tackles, 1 pass defense, 6 of those tackles were solo. So he's my number 1. My number 2, he missed a couple of tackles. He frustrated me a little bit, but I got to get, like you said earlier, I got to give the old man his props. It's Eric Kendricks. He had 13 tackles last night, 6 solos. So he did his thing, running the middle of that defense. I will probably say I probably got to go with the juggernaut, BB. He got called for a holding play, which shouldn't have been a hold. Looking at the play, he was being held from getting to the second level. But for the most part, you got Dexter Lawrence in the middle of that defense who can cause all types of havoc. He only had 2 tackles last night. You didn't hear much. I don't think he had any pressures. You didn't hear much from him. So the juggernaut held his own last night.
Oh, yeah,
number 4 for me, keep an eye out for this kid, man. And that's my guy, Jalen Tolbert.
Oh, Jalen Tolbert, yep. Still, getting his little reps a game. You know what I'm saying? That's something. It's gonna be there. The Cowboys,
he's definitely getting his run in. Cooks, he's out to a slow start. He's starting to look his age now. But Tolbert last night, 3 targets, 3 catches. He's the bigger body, and he's coming into his own. So he's showing that maturation. And then number 5 for me, wasn't anything spectacular, but no, he was within his own. Even though he was on the siege for most of the night, I gotta give it to Dak. He went 22 for 27, 2 tubs, no picks, 125.5 passer rating. Yeah, he had an efficient game last night.
Highest completion percentage of the season thus far in the first month for him. I believe it was like 81.4.
This guy right here.
And what about 5 points? And we'll go.
A dub is a dub.
What about 5 to the Giants is nasty work? Absolutely. But winning the game is what we come here for.
We needed that game.
Hopefully see a Raiders show with you, Dominique, after the Raiders win or lose this weekend. I know you got a couple players out. Wish y'all good luck, but go Browns. No love for CD, damn coach. No love for CD. This is why there's no love for CD. Because CD's supposed to do this. This is like nothing.
That part right there. He did what he's supposed to do last night. You getting paid like you paid. You talking about the ruckus on the sideline. You did what you're supposed to do last night. Even though that celebration was a bonehead play, but we'll take it.
Right. Should be doing this. You know what I'm saying? Should be giving us more. But we'll take what you want. Dale asked as well, what about CD, the running back? Yeah, man. About the running back position, man. Like I said, Zeke didn't get a lot of touches last night. Maybe he's on punishment or something. But CD getting more rush attempts than Zeke is crazy as hell.
That's a soft admittance that their running game is not what they thought it was going to be. If you got your wide receiver one taking direct handoffs out of the backfield, yeah, you're trying to get anything from a electric play that you can out of that backfield. Dalvin Cook, I don't think it's the fact he looks bad. I think part of it was, gotta remember, he got signed right before game one. The second part of it was, I think this week, because with there being a short week, had been a regular game, I think he would have been here Sunday. And then the last thing was, I think they are still trying to pay some respect to Zeke for what he's done for the organization. This is definitely Zeke's last hurrah, because if Cook comes in and he starts to have any type of positive contribution, it's going to be Cook and Dowdle getting handoffs.
Right, and you got to realize too, people. And he's $8 million, 8 and 8. So he's $8 million, and he's a cap hit at $8 million. I would hope that he gets more ticks, but he's gonna have to. They're gonna have to, because I mean, it depends on how our season goes, man. But like you said, man, Cook could potentially take that spot.
Yeah.
In a world full of CD Lambs, don't be a Jamar Chase. Hey, in this world of Jamar Chases, don't be a CD Lamb. That may be it. We don't know yet. Jamar Chase hasn't got his bread yet, so we don't know. We're gonna find out what CD really is because he got his dub. One sack on Daniel Jones, though. This is hey, it's football, bro. It's what it is. One sack. Okay. He threw a pick, right? This is supposed to steal it, right? He made the mistake, right? Hold on. So you saying that, and then he did that? Hey, you pretty much all you had to do was keep the ball in control. You made the mistake. I think last night the pass rush is not what it was because it's not the same scheme as a Dan Quinn. But I think last night was more of them. Even though it's the Giants and their running game, they had to stop the hemorrhaging that they were having at the running game. That's why you saw Mozzie have a better game. I think last night they averaged 1.8 yards per rush. Again, it was the Giants, but if they had came here and cooked Dallas, we never heard the end of it. Never. At the end of the day, it is an NFL team. They need to work on that running game because it's not going to get easy. They got Pittsburgh. They're rolling out to Pittsburgh next week, and you got to deal with a scrambling quarterback. So, and a team that likes to run and run physically. So that's what they're working on right now. You know, all the highlight stats. If it comes, it comes. But that's not Zimmer's defense. That's not Zimmer's defense at all. As we spoke on the Giants' rush attack last night, a total of 24 carries, 26 yards. Great showing by the defense. I don't care who you're playing. You do it at any game, that's fire. The defense for just holding them to threes. No matter how close the game was, you held them to threes. We got the sixes in the end zone early. You know, it was kind of stagnant after, and we got to work it down as a team. Like, there's just points where we're too stagnant, and then we want to turn up. We turn up early, and then we're stagnant. We need to keep that at a hold on 1 second. Keep that at a low volume, and that's what it is, man. So it's definitely crazy in that regard. Fair enough. Good questions from the viewers, though. Very good questions. Yeah, shout out to the questions, man, and all. Shout out to the questions, man. We're gonna continue to be learning the defenses. Like I said, new coordinator. Command is looking like they might win the division. Yes, they're looking like it. They're looking like it, but people, I said it coming into the season. Don't be surprised if they end up winning this division. And people looked at me like I was crazy because Dallas has got their struggles. Philly is fool's gold. I don't care what you say about them. Yeah, they have the weapons on offense, but they're beat up. They're going to be without AJ and Smith this week.
They even before they got hurt, they wasn't using Dallas Goedert like they normally do. Saquon was a primary option, but you got, I don't believe in their OC. I'm not just saying because he used to be here. It's just that his style of play doesn't fit the style of quarterback. You don't want Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 30, 40 times. That's not his skill set. And on defense, I thought maybe I would see a better improvement with Fangio coming in, but they still got struggles on that back end in that defense. They still can be got from, as far as cornerback and safety play, which they try to address. What's up, Wizzo? Appreciate you tapping in.
They got a young, hungry QB in Washington. You know what I'm saying? And that hungry QB is showing all the players on that team, somewhat to be hungry, so they're here early. But my advice for anybody right now, upticking on the Commanders, good job for you. Shout out. When was the last time you wanted to root for them? But in all, it gets tough. We talk about these Philly and Dallas teams. You're going to have to beat them. If you're the Commanders, you got to beat them. This is not going to be like some gimmick based on your record or anything you're doing to start the season off. You're going to have to win those games, and hopefully they can for their sake. But me as a fan looking in, F the Eagles. I don't care what the Eagles do. We know that. I feel like our boys are low side. And this is the thing I'm going to say right now here. Before not crazy. This is how crazy the Cowboys organization is. What was our record last year at the crib?
8-1.
What's our record at the crib this year?
0-2.
What's our record on the road this year?
1-1.
We're 2-0 at the. We're 2-0.
No, 2-0. Right.
So we're gonna. This is why Cowboys fans sound sometimes crazy. Because this is the type of season we could have where we win every single game on the road and win nothing at Jerry's World, and we've seen this a bunch of times. But ultimately, for our team we have to be 100 right angle in all three aspects of the game. And so far, we have not. I'll take the victory over the Giants, man.
Divisional game on the road. Gotta take it.
We gotta take it, man. There's a lot of things that we need to work on. We'll talk about it, and all we can do as football fans is hope that they can. Because this is why football is one of the most craziest sports in the world. 17, 18 weeks for some teams, 20 plus for some teams. And every week for one game, you're just hoping that they can get a W in the column, play as a team, play good. Everybody, from the worst to the best. Seahawks also look good in the NFC. But let me tell you one thing. This is the difference in Seattle. An improved defense that's a year older, but they haven't really played nobody yet. They'll get that on Monday against the Lions. But this is how they started last year as well, the Seahawks.
They did. They led the division for quite a bit of time last year until San Francisco got healthy.
Don't come in. All right, you see, this is the thing about you, Dom. You talk about every team but your team. Every team but your team. But shout out to you bringing those little side chicks in there, because this ain't the side chick show. It's the Cowboy show. So bring your comments, Cowboy comments. Daryl over here. We in here. Cowboys barely survived New York. Listen here. Is New England going to survive the season? Survive in New England. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about.
Okay, so what were some of your negatives last night?
11 penalties, 89 yards can't happen nowhere in the league.
He had that one in the chamber.
We cannot play football like this, man.
Yeah, no.
That's what you deserve. 11 flash for 89 yards. You can't. That's a team problem, and it becomes a problem for everybody on that offense. Defense.
That's a whole offensive drive.
It's a crazy. Exactly. That's what separates you from winning games and losing games, and we always do that every time. We need to stop that. That was a real negative for me, honestly. Negative number 2, and no disrespect to him, but Neighbors just went too crazy for me.
Yeah, he cooked last night.
These quarterbacks need to step the game up, man. We can't just be waiting for Bland to have the whole other side and then, oh, snap, everything's good again. Because you got to remember, Diggs is still coming from the ACL. So we're still waiting for him to get his ramps up and improve week by week. And we got some young guys over here. One young guy got beat last night by Neighbors. His Achilles looked like he tore.
Oh, you talking about Booth? Yeah, he looked pretty. He looked so bad they pulled him.
It's crazy. Another negative for me, I believe I have any, and the injuries, man. The injury that was sustained, you could blame. We didn't really hear a lot of from Cowboys Nation. We didn't hear like, oh, it's a Thursday night game or anything like that. It's the football game. It's the game. Whenever you play, there's potential for injury, but the injuries that we had to deal with last night, was a little crazy.
They were altering. Those can be some season altering injuries.
Yep, definitely season altering injuries when they're guys that are the people that the world speaks about on our team. Like, yes, it's terrible. Negatives for you, Coach.
For me, obviously the injuries. That's the big one. We're already thin on the defensive line. We're already thin in the linebacking core. So we're going to see how that goes, man. We're going to be suspect going forward. The good thing is we got a bye week coming up. But we're going to face Detroit without two of our better players on defense. Also, and speaking of Daniel Jones, I was watching the game with my pops last night, and I'm sitting there, and at one point in time, I'm like, and I take that back. Coming into the game, I told my dad, I was like, if they have this dude looking like he's an all-star quarterback, we really know this defense in trouble. And at one point in time, he was looking pretty damn good. Last night, he went 29 for 40, 281. But that was a lot of that was, after they had gotten up and he just started throwing the balls and things like that. But for the most part, especially that first half, he looked pretty damn efficient against that defense.
He looked like he was making the throws. He has confidence, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing about him. He has confidence. And one thing about him is going to go out there and he's still going to continue to play. That's the positive of Daniel Jones. The negative of him is once he gets into that mode, he starts doing crazy stuff and then a mental mistake.
He started believing his height.
Shout out to him last night. Look at here, the possessions here. The possessions, 35 minutes for the Giants in terms of time possession, 35.37, and 24-23 for the Cowboys. Total yards, Giants with more. Of course, they had the turnover, which I said, man, you can't make. Dominique said, hey, one sack, but he had one pick, and that one pick, man, is better than that one sack. I don't care about the sacks. First downs, they had 16 to Dallas' 14. So the Giants winning that game last night with the home field advantage. Unfortunately for them, they made some mistakes early, which turned, like I said, sixes for the Cowboys. And honestly, the Cowboys, the way they played throughout the rest of the game, if the Giants would have snatched that last night, I would have gave a good pat on the back to the Giants. I would have been mad, but that's kind of how you end the slump. Or with the Giants slumping against the Cowboys, that's kind of how you end the slump is beat them when their backs against the wall.
Gotcha. I'll probably say the last negative for me was even though the defense played better against the run, there was still quite a bit of missed tackles. There was at least two possessions where I think one of them was like a fourth down, the other was a third down, where they had the ball carrier in the backfield and they missed a tackle. Got to wrap up. It's like I got the feeling that everybody was going in for kill shots last night instead of going in to secure the tackle. Right. And I started thinking back to where Mike was talking about people trying to play hero ball. We don't need that. Know your assignment. Solidify the tackle, move on to the next play.
All day.
So what were your positives last night?
Positive, mentioned earlier, Rico getting some confidence. Shout out to that. Dak and CD, at least for this week, are good. You know what I'm saying? That was a positive to see. Last Sunday's game, you're playing the Ravens, you see Lamar's record against the NFC. You see what he does to teams in the NFC. It happened last week with his team overall, killing y'all, and y'all just got into some beefing. Happy that they was able to, in this game that was real important to come out there together and be cohesive. Positive. One more positive for me. I guess, if I can say it, This great overall coming in from a loss here. It just, like I said, everybody's on your back. How about the lose tonight? And everybody came in, with a winning mentality. I mean, there was some crazy missed tackles and things like that. Things that should have been done. You can go back to the flags and stuff, but ultimately and all, at least you came to win the game, not go down early and lose the game. And screw the Giants, though, man. I'm gonna take a division win at the same time. So my positives are a win.
Okay. My positives were they kept the Giants out the end zone last night. They kicked 5 field goals. Because I felt like even going into that last possession of the Giants, like, man, we just a play away from them. Some crazy and wacky going on to cause us the game. So them keeping out the end zone again. Them holding the Giants. They had 26 yards for 24 carries, holding them to 1.08 yards per carry. I'll take that any day of the week. Which I think that was the Cowboys' fewest yards per carry in franchise history. So they're getting history on both sides of it this year.
And 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Positive and negative. And then the last positive, the defense, they held the Giants to 5 of 16 on third down and 4.7 yards per play. So again, yeah, it's the Giants, but you did what you were supposed to do against this opponent.
Definitely.
Whoever Greg Joseph in fantasy went, wow. Who was that?
The kickoff, the Giants.
Oh, gotcha.
They were horrible. They was horrible a couple of weeks, without a kicker. I was hearing they had some other people kicking. Gano was hurt. But shout out to the field goal kickers last night in the game too. You know what I'm saying? They got points. Field goal kickers are very valuable in games like this, man, where there's not a lot of touchdowns. You got to settle for field goals, and hey, it's the love of the game. Shout out to the field goal kickers. There's some punters that still haven't punted the ball yet.
That's true.
So, in there.
And last topic for the night, the next opponent, Pittsburgh Steelers. Got a long rivalry with these guys.
They just throwing us in a rivalry bin right now. Pittsburgh. Woo, on a Sunday night. Ooh, baby. This is gonna be very emotional for anybody who's old school Cowboy and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. This is as good as it gets here. Both teams are trying to find their direction. It's gonna be an interesting one. Like you said, they have physical backs. I want to see who they have at the running back position in a couple weeks because both of their running backs are banged up right now. So this leaves Justin Fields, and that offensive line is not really ill like that. But our defense is hurt. So this game is kind of gonna go to, in my eyes, who can make plays. And I'm gonna go with my quarterback to make plays. Now, watch out for Cuzzo, TJ Watt on the other side, but I feel as if Dallas, and I just mentioned, we're 2-0 on the road. We're going to have to win these games on the road, and we can't win at the crib. According to the logic and the analytics of Cowboy Nation in the last 20-some-odd years. And though Pittsburgh is an ugly place to play on a Sunday night, and it's getting cold, you're not going to be in that Texas weather. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a good game to go to, man, because that defense this year for Pittsburgh, they're having a starting number so far. They're, if not the best defense in the league. So they come to play, and their defense has always been good. It's just that offense on that side, and then the offense for us is stagnant. So which defense is gonna have some pump to it? And I like our team to have some of that.
Okay. I'm a little worried about this game, not from taking the L, but from the perspective of we're gonna be without our top two pass rushers. It's going to be interesting though to see how the defense responds. Next man up, but you can only say that so much. Like, in the secondary, we got our fourth and fifth cornerbacks getting run time. We're thin at the defensive line. And then our offense, we got to sustain drives because if we can't sustain drives and you're leaving that that hobble defense out there for an extended period of time, that's a recipe for disaster.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna be real with you, and this is crazy to say, but I think that man gonna be in Pittsburgh, man, when you play Pittsburgh. I think Paulson.
Mike is.
I think Paulson is. I'm just gonna throw it out there. They're saying right now is week to week. He could miss the game just because it's the week. You know, saying 10 days, maybe not enough. But let's see. This is where the less podcasting, more thinking about the team is gonna come to play. I mean,
did he come out and say he gonna podcast 3 times this week?
Nope, my man's not gonna podcast. He only gonna podcast 1 time. You know what he's gonna be doing? If he wants to get paid like he's supposed to be and all this stuff, even if you don't play against Pittsburgh, you're working to play against Pittsburgh, and that's gonna be one of the deciding factors in him playing. If he's working to get back, cool. But he just sitting on his ass, and then, okay, 2 weeks later, now you want to decide, I'm going to ramp it up because I'm going to come back. Then I think different of you, Micah. But I feel like you're going to work to get your way to play in that game, even if you're a game time decision and you don't play, even if it's limited snaps. Like you said, we're not full at defense. So one of these dogs is going to have to play. And if DeMarcus Lawrence is 4 weeks injury, we're going to take Micah over Lawrence right now. Are you gonna take Parsons over Lawrence right now? And that's why I think that he's gonna play. I think Lawrence will take his time. He's an older man. Take your time. You know, you might need, if we get that far, you might need him at some point. But I feel like Parsons is gonna end up playing against Pittsburgh. But overall, man, this is gonna be a good one. When we seen it on the calendar, me and yourself, we're like, this is gonna be a good one. We just didn't know the QB of the Steelers are gonna be, but we know who the QB is now, and game plan. You've already had one of the best in the league you played against. And this Justin Fields, yes, he's incredible, gifted athlete, but you just went against Lamar. I mean, you couldn't stop him, but you game plan and get better.
We'll see how it goes. I think it's going to be big what Overshawn does. Like Dominic had mentioned, Justin Fields is a running quarterback. We kind of get lit up with stuff like that. We saw what Lamar did to us. Granted, Lamar's a 2-time league MVP, but still he's a running quarterback. So Overshawn being able to make him a passing quarterback, which is not his strength either, is going to be pivotal in this game. Also, I think if Mike is not if Mike can get out there, he can go through the pain, yeah, but I don't want to be a situation where they're trying to force him out there and he re-injures it and he's out for an even longer period of time. I'd rather just, if it's a situation where, he can't put much pressure on it and it has a significant amount of pain on there, just sit him out. Just sit him out this week. Probably sit him out against the Lions. Take it licks. You might, week to week, you might mess around and win the game. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, damn, man. I see, Coach. This is where we get to the Baker Mayfield situation, dog. Baker Mayfield, he just decided he just wanted to keep playing. and like you said, that could end up bad. You end up rotating your cuff and almost missing out on your bread. But then this guy right here, Micah, you don't want him to injure himself and get hurt again.
I don't.
Look at where the season's trying to go. And I think that's why he's going to play, because this next week in Pittsburgh now, for the next 4 games, and we play tough teams, the season's on the line every single game. Because these teams can either be playoff teams we're going to play again, and if we lose to them now, we may not be able to see them again and play them again because the record might end up bad. So I'm just hoping. I'm hoping for a close Lions game. I'm hoping they beat Pittsburgh some way, somehow over there. Seahawks. We just got to start getting better overall as a team, man, in the first, second, third levels. First, second, third downs, man, particularly third downs when we got to get a team off the field. That's what we're gonna work on most, man. We can work on our third down situations and get that, especially when they're on their side of the field. We can be better, but it takes a lot, man. A lot of practice, a lot of time to get this in. Because if Mike Zimmer's still doing this in 3 weeks with this defense, 4 weeks, it's not going to be no way to go up.
No, I just like I say, if he can give us some run on next Sunday night, then yeah, have him out there. But if he go and it seems like it's going to be an issue, go ahead and sit him. Try it again against Detroit. Then you'll see how he feels there. And if not, you got a bye week after that.
Right.
So then you go into San Fran.
Oh, yeah. You go to San Fran. And honestly, man, you might be able to catch San Fran, man. Listen,
catch him.
Might be able to catch him this time, Dallas. If you catch San Fran and you don't win no more this season, that might
They'll
be
beat up more than us.
Right. That might be your Super Bowl win, man.
Okay. Any parting shots you got tonight?
Any shout outs?
Yep.
Shout out to everybody tuning in on Friday night, man. You know what I'm saying? Great showing. Shout out to all the viewers, man. You know, showing love and not showing love, but that's the way the Cowboys fan rocks, and that's the way the Cowboys haters roll. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna throw shots, they're gonna throw jabs, but it's all love from you guys, man. Shout out. And shout out to you, Coach, you know what I'm saying, for hitting that phone, man. It's time to work tonight, man. And I'm like,
appreciate you, brother. As always. Shout out to Dale, Jake, Dominique, Wizzo, Daryl. If I forgot anybody, my apologies. Hey, like you say, people gonna tune in for the Cowboys, win or lose. You either hate them or you love them. But at the end of the day, that's why they think they're America's team. Mm-hmm. Appreciate everybody hanging out here with you boys. We'll see y'all. I think the next show for us collectively is a fantasy football show Sunday morning. Other than that, man, y'all have a great weekend. See those Longhorns handle business tomorrow. Hook them out of here.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.